So I still don't know what were the intentions of the serpent, but he lied. And how did he lie? What was the lie? Well, I thought about it for a long time, many times for a long time, and yesterday as well. And I concluded that the lie was that God doesn't want for us to know good and evil, for us to have the knowledge of good and evil, or for us to be like him. Isn't that forbidden? Wait, isn't that forbidden? Isn't that illegal to think about? Oh, interesting. So yeah, the serpent lied that God doesn't want for us to know evil because God wants for us to know evil. Or at least, in my case, well, why else do I know evil? Clearly God wants for me to know evil, because if you know evil and you know good, then you can make a free choice. Then you can exercise your will. Then you can choose. And that's so obvious and simple. What was I don't know if I realized this before. I think so, but also maybe not. Strange. Huh. But how can you encourage someone to accept that something that is evil? Like, how much can you really do? How much will work? Will it even work? Will you make things worse? I think those thoughts are not good. I don't think those are good thoughts, because if I start thinking like this, then I am a vegetable. I am fully disabled, because there's always a reason not to do something. There's always a way to rationalize anything and say that this thought is evil, that this idea is evil. Actually, something bad can happen. Well, you can say that about everything. So what was my question? How much can you influence someone's perception? But just because I had to learn some things the hard way doesn't mean that other people have to, unless they have to. But that I don't know. That is still not up to me. Whether they have to or don't have to is never up to me. It was never up to me. It was never up to me. Why would it be now? Yeah. I don't get to decide that. I don't get to decide what people deserve. When is the right time for them to know something or to have something? How much they need, what they need, how much work they need to do in order to obtain something. I don't get to decide those things. I don't control that. So I think there's no reason for me to hold back either knowledge or help. There's no reason. But then I think, well, I've met people who probably shouldn't take this advice. Then I think about them. But still, I don't get to decide how much people will take, how much they will understand, whether or not they deserve to hear something or to have something. I don't get to decide those things. People take what they want or what they will. It's not in my control. I think sometimes I try to take responsibility for things that are not in my control and not my responsibility. And you would think, now that I've come to this resolution and I have the final answer, God wants for us to know evil. Now the sky will fall down and all of the evil things will be destroyed and it will be good forever from that point on. The good things will come and the bad things will go. But no. And it's like this every day. It's hard to maintain and retain your faith when you struggle to even retain your life, when the desire is gone. You can still do things. I mean, it's not like my body doesn't listen to me. I can say, get up, go, get dressed, leave the house. Don't feel anything. Nothing feels real. Only some memories. I have some good memories and dreams of things that never happened, and now I know that they can't. Well, I cannot do anything for to make them come true. It is not in my control. And of course, a bunch of people who tell me to change my dreams, to change my faith, to change my values. They usually say that when no one hears them. At least the kind of people that, if such exist, they say that when there's no one around to defend me, and especially if even I can't defend myself, that's the best time for them to show up. When I'm vulnerable, when I'm not feeling well, that's the best time for them to show up. And I hate them. I don't consider them humans. No, I'm still tricked when I see them for the first time. I'm talking to them, they just are beginning to open their mouth and say those abnormal things. Like, not normal. Humans don't talk like that. I still see them as human. But then they piss me off. But I can control myself. Why do I control myself? That's a good question. And then upon reflection, I realize how evil these people are, what they actually believe, what they actually want. what they're actually trying to do. And then I think, well, if they are going after my life, then what are my rights? It's hard. It's much harder to defend yourself than it is to defend someone else. But when you're denied having a chance to defend someone else and to have someone who will defend you, that's when, like, what now? What else? What else? Why would you want to stay in the world knowing how little value life has in the world? How little value? No, I won't say that. No, you, and if you say to God, I will say, sure. But where? Like, I'm surrounded by people. Where is God? And if he's somewhere where you're gonna go after your passing, after death, then why not now? It will be better. Why not now? I want love. I want it to be safe. I want to be home. So give me a better answer. And now it's gonna be the wrong people commenting under my video, giving me their answers. And some of you are gonna read them, know that they're full of bullshit, and not say anything. And I just know. I just know. Okay. Thank you. Bye.